I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin. I'm Maria Menounos, and our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world.
AfterBuzz TV News.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
AfterBuzz.
Hey guys, welcome back. So excited to chat about Dave, Season 1, Episode 9. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Ashley Dior-Jones, and I cannot do this alone. Of course, I have the lovely Carla Contreras, the hip-hop fanatic. How you doing, girl? How's your
Good.
week been?
It's been amazing.
Your California living is the way to go.
Amen.
So today, with this really, like I was saying in the intro, it's probably one of my favorite episodes of all season. So we're going to talk about couple duets. We're going to talk about killing bunny. We're going to talk about
Oh my God.
pooping on hikes. And we're going to talk about ambition in relationships versus in your career. So Carla, what are your overall thoughts about this episode? What'd you think?
I love the substance. I feel like it's an inside look outside of just him being an artist. So I like that. Like I said in her 60-second recap, if anyone's checked it out, I love that she stood up for herself. I feel like he's not an awful boyfriend, but he just does little things that can definitely build up to what we saw in this episode. So I am hoping to work it out though.
Yeah. So my overall thoughts of the episode, like I said, it was one of my favorites all season. I love seeing the dynamic between Dave and Emma. I think they are just Dave and Allie. Why do I keep
Yeah, I
doing
was
that?
like,
Dave and
Emma.
Allie. Like, I don't know why
It took
that's so hard
listen.
for me. But I just think they are a really cute couple, and I think their relationship dynamic is so authentic and so real. And I just love watching them. I think Dave is freaking adorable, and I think that Allie putting up with him is just too cute too. So I was really happy with this episode. Starting off with this adorable couple duet. Like, how cute was that song at the very beginning of the episode?
I did like it. I think the only thing that was kind of bothering me was like, okay, you need to go, and he's like, no, 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 like let's stay. But it's crazy how like in the randomest moment you can create such cute art. You know what I mean? It's like so unexpected. It kind of made me think like maybe I should just start recording myself randomly, see what I can come up with.
Right. It was so cute and it was so authentic. And I love like the auto tune, and you really got a good grasp of their relationship, like the highs and the lows. Like you could tell that they really cared a lot for one another. But you could tell there were some cracks in the relationship too, just with like Dave
Definitely.
kind of like pushing her off and just like not taking her requests seriously. And we've seen that a lot from Dave, unfortunately, which is
Hmm.
kind of why how we get to this predicament at the end of the episode, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I think the one thing I really, really noticed in this episode was how when it comes time to focus on her, one way or another, it always shifts. Even
So
in like
true.
really dumb, funny ways where he really needs to poop or like, what happened on that hike. But one way or another, it's like he's like, oh, I can help you. And then he gets sidetracked with something that's going on with him. And then he kind of just like leaves her to the side. And she's kind of left hanging. And I feel like she really, puts her all into a relationship, especially letting him be. The least he can do is reciprocate. Okay.
That's so true. Allie is a good one. Like she has been writing for Dave like this whole season. So basically in this episode, we are going to Allie's big sister's wedding, Jules, and Allie is the maid of honor, and she has to, say a maid of honor speech. I was just recently the maid of honor at my younger sister's wedding, so I understand
Same.
the pressure. No way.
Yeah.
It
My
is
speech was
not easy to
awful.
come up with. It is not easy to come up with a maid of honor speech. Like the struggle is
No.
real, or was for me. What was
It
your
was for me
experience?
too, yeah. I was like, "What? Like, what am I supposed to say?" I'm not super mushy in front of people, so I'm like, I don't wanna sound cold, and I don't wanna say, like, a joke that's inappropriate. It was just too much. I'm like, "What is good to say in this moment?" Like, I don't really know.
Right. It's definitely a big moment. Like your all of your family and friends are there. This is a moment that everyone is gonna remember. So I totally get why Allie was, so stressed out about it. And of course, on the drive up to see, up to the venue or whatnot to see Allie's family, she's trying to get some insight. And he's just not giving her much of anything, but he does run over a bunny.
Mm,
I honestly couldn't watch that
I
scene because
couldn't.
it hurt my heart so bad. I was like, the poor bunny rabbit.
I agree, and literally, I think the worst part was that we just saw the bunny twitching. I was like, "Okay, you didn't have to show us that
I
much."
know.
It was awful, and then them trying to fully kill it, and he's
Oh,
not running it over perfectly. It just was too
so
much. It
bad.
was
And like
graphic.
the squealing is what
Ugh.
got me. I was like, there is a dying bunny squealing. Like somebody ripped my heart out right now. I could have cried.
Yes, me too. I can't handle things like that. I almost stopped watching John Wick when the puppy died 10 minutes
I
into the movie.
know. I
I
watched John
can't
Wick
handle things like that.
yesterday. And when that dog died, when Daisy died, I almost cried. It was like when animals are hurt, it's just the worst thing ever.
Yeah,
But
like
I
turn it
do,
off. Stop it.
yeah, but I do understand Allie's point of view where she like wanted to kind of put it out of its misery. Like, is that the right thing? Was she supposed to just leave him like squealing to die like horribly? I think running him back over was the right thing to do.
Oh yeah, that definitely was the right move because especially I think they were kind of like in an isolated area. By the time they got help, the bunny was just sitting there suffering. It technically is kind of a wild animal, so it's like it's just
Yeah,
hard one. You know what I mean? But
that's
no one wants to
true.
see an animal die. No.
No, especially a cute little bunny rabbit. So once we finally make it to Allie's parents' house, like we get to meet them and we get to meet her lawyer sister Jules and Jules's husband. And we have a very interesting moment at the dinner table. Like, what did you think about the dynamic between the characters at the dinner table?
So from the beginning, I kind of already had a feeling that the vibe was going to be off. And she says, like, I don't even know why I'm her maid of honor. So that already there is a red flag. And then she starts kind of making hints at like how they're gonna criticize Dave for being a rapper. It's like what really is a rapper. So you can kind of already tell that the family's really, really hard on her, which is definitely, no one wants that for themselves with their family.
Totally.
And then they're passive aggressive, very passive aggressive. They kind of were like, "Oh, maybe you should pass over some ambition to Ellie since she doesn't have any." Like everyone's goals and everyone's idea of success is so different. If being an elementary school teacher is what fulfills her, and like she said, like I'm teaching the next generation of America, like that's something to be proud of. But
Well,
to them, it kind of seems like maybe money is more important. Like if your career is making a
mhm.
lot of money, I felt bad for her. And then Dave was getting a lot of praise. I think what they were giving Dave is what she wanted to receive from her family. So it was sad.
Yeah, 100%. You could see that she was definitely like lacking in that perspective. Like it looks like her family wanted more from her, but it's like she's a kindergarten teacher. Like what better job could you want your daughter to have? I mean, really fostering the minds of the future, and she's so good at it. Like she's so
Yes.
patient and she's so kind. Like kudos to Allie for having a really good necessary job. I mean, it may not be paid millions, it probably should be, but that doesn't make it any less worthy. And I was really sad that they weren't like supportive or more supportive of her.
Not to mention also that I'm sure a lot of parents right now in quarantine are realizing how hard it is to be a teacher and they would love to send their kids to school right now. So it is not an easy job, people, okay?
Absolutely. It is not an easy job. And then like Jules's little dig about getting something off of the registry and not having to like pay for the bachelorette parties because it's a little too expensive. I was like, you don't have to say those things to your sister. Like she's trying, she's out here trying to live her best life. Just be supportive. Like it's not hard. People kill me.
It's like, first of all, who cares about gifts? It's like the fact that she's there being your maid of honor, which is like a memory that you have for a lifetime. I thought it was super petty. I thought it was super big of Allie though to still not at one like any time be unkind to any of her family members, and she still gave the best speech. You
Oh my
know,
gosh, her speech was so good. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I was floored at like how
I
impactful it
would have been
was.
petty. Okay, if you've been coming at me like that for a few days, I would have been petty. I would have thrown a few little digs in there, but she went the high road.
I know, I thought she was gonna take it left. Like I thought she was gonna take
Me
this moment to
too.
like stick it to her sister, finally like let loose and be free. But like Allie's a classy girl. Like she didn't even have to go there. So kudos for her to being the bigger person, I guess. But to each his own. So let's start to talk about this hike.
Oh my god.
First of all, I hate hiking. Number one, I think bugs and
Same
snakes
girl.
are gross. And you could, but like Dave is in there with us. Like he is so not down to hike. He's like, oh, I'm just doing this because your family wants me to. But trust, I don't want to be here, right? Like I totally understood where he was coming from.
Yeah, same. It's just too many factors when you're hiking. It's like the sun can be too high, you get sunburn, there's insects, there's animals, there's just too many things I'm not about it. But
Totally, and
he
it
was
can
I
go.
mean, go right ahead.
It could go real left, especially if you had too many carrots at the dinner table like Dave did. I can't believe they showed his running diarrhea while he was taking a poop
Oh
on
my
the hike trail.
god.
I was like, they
That
didn't really
killed
just show that.
me. Yeah,
So
it was
gross. So funny.
I'm picturing it in my mind right now and I'm not happy about it. It was so much, but it was funny because it's like, dude, you had a bite of a carrot, like one bite, and you're just I don't know that we. I mean, clear it wasn't the carrot. It had to be something else, but it was a lot of poop, like a lot.
Yeah. And again,
And
it shows how freaking dramatic Dave is, and like
so
everything he
dramatic.
does. Like once again, Allie's trying to have a real conversation about the speech that she's really worried about, and once again, we're back on Dave being the center of attention. And I could get why she's like totally over it. Like, do you feel where she's coming from?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that was one of those moments where I kind of thought like, even in like the most minimal ways, he's just so distracted all the time. And
Yeah.
it sucks for her because I feel like she was feeling off with her family already. Maybe she's been feeling this way for a while with Dave. And at the same time, it's like I think she's not very confrontational as a person. So I think for it to get as bad as it did, it took a lot, and he didn't have to go that low. He went low.
He went
I felt
low.
bad. I was like, "Oh, okay, that was harsh."
It was harsh. It was harsh. And I mean, and this is a really big moment for Dave. Like, this is maybe his first contract deal. Like, a label is offering him $200,000 for his catalog and an album. And this is like a big decision that he has to make. So I understand like why he's so concerned, but I do think he needs to step up in the relationship realm just a bit more. I mean, because Ali has been riding for him through and through, no qualms, like no complaints. So I think it's time for him to kind of step up and do better.
What do you think about him not being just like yes to taking the contract? Like he's so iffy about it. He's like $200,000 for my catalog, but keep in mind the catalog has 2 songs on it. Okay, so it's like I feel like he expects a lot, but I feel like at the beginning that's kind of what it really looks like. Would Do you agree with him kind of being hesitant, or would you just be like, yes, do it?
Well, I was actually going to ask you the same thing because I don't know if 200K for that amount is a good amount of money or not a good amount of money. I have no like concept of, how much is too much or how much is too little. But you look at stars like Meg the Stallion who are going through like situations right now where she signed a bad contract, a bad deal, and she's not getting the money that she's worth. So I think it's a
Mhm.
really touchy subject. Like I think the label will definitely try to take advantage of you, especially in the beginning of your career. So I don't kind of knock Dave for, trying to get everything that he can out of his first deal because I think it's really going to set him up and set up a lot of artists for, their future.
Well, I think like a big one maybe is the fact that they aren't like trying to control his creativity, just kind of letting him do what he wants. That's a really big one because I know labels are like super big on just, making music that sells, which doesn't work for a lot of creative artists that want to put out their own work. So I think that alone is like a huge reason to go with that label. Um, and aside from like kind of being hesitant, why don't you get like a lawyer on board or like someone who knows, not that Mike doesn't know, but he's learning with Dave kind of just as they go. They need like professional opinion because I don't know numbers either, but go to someone that does know. That's your best bet
Exactly.
here.
Yeah, I was surprised Mike didn't already have that in his back pocket. Like, I've gone through the lawyers with this. This is the best deal that you can get. They're giving you creative control. This was like the one label that you liked out of everyone that we saw, and they're offering you a deal. Like, what more could you want, dude? But that's just Dave. That's just like who he is. He's never satisfied. It's never enough. Um, let's now talk about the actual wedding and Ali's speech. Like, what do you think? What do you think about this? Like, we should probably talk about the fight first, I guess,
Oh
since that
yeah.
happened initially. So Ali has just had it. She's like, "You are never present in this relationship, and I'm over it." And Dave kind of sticks it to her, saying like, "I'm sorry you don't have any ambition." Like that hurt. Like, what were your thoughts when you saw this go down?
I feel like it definitely obviously was very, very mean, but I feel like in the middle of like an especially heated argument where you're not seeing eye to eye, like out of anger, you say so many things sometimes that it's like it's hard to like control yourself when you're so mad. So I feel like he just put his foot in his mouth. I think she'll forgive him. I think he definitely didn't mean it. I think maybe he feels like I think he's like so set on this goal and making it happen that he's kind of forgetting to prioritize other things. And it's not that hard to just kind of put your phone down or, be like, okay, I'm going to work from 8 to 5 today. And from 5 to whatever, I'm going to dedicate time to just Ali. I think they'll move past it though. It was harsh, but worse things can be said.
100%. I honestly, when I watched it, I was like, Dave kind of has a point. Like, he did come with
You
her to, that's what I thought. I was like, he kind of has
girl.
a point. Like, he came to her freaking sister's wedding, which
Oh
is
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
like
You're
that's a
right.
must during one of the biggest moments of his life. So you can tell that he cares about Allie, like totally. But like, Dave's right. Like, this is the time to like grind. Like, this is the time to make your name known. This is the time to like hit the ground running. Like, it's the start of your career. So you've got to put a lot of your energy into that, especially in a career like trying to be a rapper. Like, who can do that? Like, no one, only a very select few. So I get his ambition and I get his drive and I get like how important it is to him. I mean, like us, we're in careers that like you got to have
You
laser
gotta
focus to
hustle
make
it
it
out.
work.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why I think a lot of relationships don't pan out, because sometimes you do have to choose, like, what do you think
Yeah.
about that?
I definitely think there can be a balance, or even like, let's say you have a really, really busy week, like make a nice gesture. Like, I know sometimes like I'll be really busy and my boyfriend has day off and I don't have days off really most of the time. So I'll like postmate him his favorite food and like drink. And I'll be like,
Aw.
oh, like at 6:20, the car will be outside, go get it, and like lay on the pool, have a good day off. I wish I could be there, but I can't. There's such small ways that
Ah,
you can go out of your way for your partner that are really, really meaningful. I just don't think he's doing that, I don't know.
Carla,
I
you
think
are a
there is a balance
queen. You
though.
are a real queen. Your man is lucky. That's probably why I am
Thank
single,
you.
because I don't do any of those things. I'm like, I gotta work. I gotta work.
It's so
But
easy.
I'm gonna have to take some tips from you for sure. And Dave obviously needs to take some tips from you too. So what did you think
Yep,
about
Dave.
Allie's final maid of honor speech? Like, did you think she knocked it out of the park? Did you think she was too harsh on Dave? Like, how did it make you feel?
I think it was beautiful. She got her message across. It was super subtle. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think anyone in the room knew what she was really, really hinting at, because I feel like that speech was definitely directed at Dave. Um, and even to her sister, like she hadn't been kind to her. She had been giving
Mhm.
like throwing little digs at her, and even then she complimented the hell out of her.
She did.
And I thought it was beautiful, way better than I did. Okay, mine was
Me too. Mine
mine
was
was
pretty
not
bad.
good. Yeah, mine too. I refuse to even look at the like footage from that day because I'm like, I don't even want evidence that happened. Okay.
I know it is not an easy thing to do, but I was so proud of Allie. I was so proud that she, like we talked about, once again took the high road, and it's like, this is my sister's moment and she deserves it. I want her to be happy, and it looks like she will be with her partner. Like, it feels like Allie was like, I wish like I had a partner like that too, which was kind of
Yeah,
a dig at Dave. And then you see Dave driving off alone after the wedding. I noticed that Allie was not in the car with him.
same.
And they played that same interlude from the beginning of the episode, which makes me think, like, did they break up? Like, are we going to see a breakup in the next episode? Like, we'll get to predictions in just a couple minutes, but like, how did this last scene make you feel?
I would hate. I mean, it looks like he left right after the wedding or right after that speech by himself. Which, if he did do that, I hate that. I feel like when you're arguing, just don't leave. Stay in the moment. Tough it out. So if he left, I'm gonna be disappointed. Because then her family's gonna ask questions. You don't want to sit there and explain like the
Oh, the
awkwardness to your
worst.
family. So we'll have to wait and see, but I'll save the rest for predictions.
Okay, cool. So I am glad that we got to get a little bit of like singing Dave. Like, he kind of brought in a Drake vibe with the
The
singing and a
attitude.
little bit of auto tune. Yeah, which I really, really love. So like, let's get into your special segment.
Yes.
What's behind the name? Dun 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 dun. I'm gonna do
So
good this week. I can feel it.
so this is kind of random. So there's she's a female rapper, Mia. She did Paper Planes. I'm sure you've heard it. Super
Of
popular.
course.
Um, so what do you think Mia stands for?
I think she's from Miami.
Is
I don't know. It's just a guess.
she? Okay, so that's for Miami. That's where you guys. Ryan, you want to hop on in this one? Is he there? Are you paying attention to us, Ryan?
I'm gonna guess it's missing in action. So she was MIA
Ooh.
from class. I don't know.
How do you know that?
Is that right?
Was it right?
Yes,
What?
Ryan beat me.
I
So
swear you're
bummed.
right. How do you know that?
Wait, what is the right answer? Like, describe.
So, stands for missing in action.
Wow.
You don't have the whole explanation right, but you have that part right. So it actually derives from, so her cousin disappeared at like a few years back, and they're the same exact age, so they kind of grew up
Oh
together.
no.
So yeah, which is kind of sad. So she wants to make a film about, basically a documentary on how that happened, because there's so many like missing pieces to it, and it looks like kind of like there's obviously foul play. So it's in kind of commemoration to her cousin that's also missing in action, who she feels like should be along her side through this journey.
Oh my gosh,
Isn't that crazy?
that's so sad and so beautiful. Now I have like an even deeper respect for her craft. Like if you can make it through something like that, that's a lot.
And I'm sure her cousin is super proud.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Looking down, like,
yeah.
Ugh,
Well, she might
that's
be.
tough.
Was she found? Were they found? The cousin?
No,
Oh.
not to my knowledge. It was a disappearance. From what I found, no, they were the same age. No. Yeah.
Ugh.
And
Literally the worst.
she spent some of her time trying to find her, like her cousin, and no, never found anything. So now she just lives to make her cousin proud.
Oh, sheesh.
Crazy, right?
That is so crazy. So crazy. Well, thank you so much for that very enlightening special segment. What do you think is going to happen next week on Dave? Episode 10.
And now,
well, you have to keep in mind it's a finale, so it's gonna end with a bang. I think it's gonna be a happy ending. I think they're gonna make up. I think he's gonna come to his senses and kind of see where she's coming from. They definitely both are a little bit wrong in certain things, so I think they'll figure it out. Oh, and I think he's definitely signing that contract. Okay, he'd be dumb not to. He's signing it, and that's we're gonna see the beginning of his career take off after that.
I love that prediction. So I think that Allie and Dave will actually break up. I think that they will break up next episode. But I think at the end of the episode, they will like come together and see that they like can't like live without each other. And I think he will also sign the contract, but I think he'll get the number up. Like he got it from 200 to 250. So I think he's probably going to get it up to like maybe 300K, 300 to 500K. I believe in him, and I believe in Mike, and I believe in like his music. So I'm excited for the finale. It's gonna be.
Me too. I don't want it to end.
I know. I don't want it to end either. This has been a really fun show. Like so invigorating, so new, so fresh, so funny, but still really like enlightening. Like so many really great like episodes. It's just been so fun to watch.
I wish we knew there's gonna be a second season, but with everything happening, we probably won't hear for a while. But there definitely should be. I want to do this again. Over and over.
Me too. So fingers crossed for season 2 of Dave. So that's kind of it for this after show, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Carla, if they don't know already, where can they find you?
Instagram at Carla L. Contreras, and I also do Shaws of Sunset and Siren if you want to check me out on their other channels.
Awesome. And you can find me at Ashley Dior Jones on all social media platforms. I'm also one of the co-hosts on our Black Twitter show, which is doing a really big relaunch. That's going to be coming on Tuesdays at 7 on the Black Hollywood Live channel. So definitely check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next week for the Dave season finale. Bye.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.